It's time now for a look at least in local news. In the news, schools will remain closed here in Wayne County. The school system says they're monitoring everything, and the decision about school tomorrow will be made later today. And they check their website and also their media information. Cold and snow and cold weather advisory continues. The governor's actually, if you don't have to be on the roads, to stay at home. Our EMA Director, Donnie Ray, continues to update us on the situation. He says there's a high confidence of an extended duration of dangerously cold temperatures and wind chills through Sunday morning. Again, freeze and hard freeze warnings are expected nightly across southeast Georgia. Cold weather advisory expected for wind chills in the teens to lower 20s expected each morning. Again, daytime high temperatures in the 40s for southeast Georgia. Again, they ask if you do not have to be on the road to please do not be on the road. Again, conditions are kind of tough out there this morning. Finally, these freeze temperatures mean a chance for power outages. There's a few things you should know if your power goes out. The main priority is to keep as much heat in your house as possible. The best way to do that is to take towels and blankets, use them to fill in gaps under doors and windows if you feel a draft. If you have medical equipment that requires electricity, they ask that you make sure you have a backup plan to get to a place with power. Again, temperatures are extremely cold out there, a lot of snow on the ground. So again, asking if you don't have to be on the road to stay home. Again, update on the school should be made sometime later today. We'll be back with more news. City Commissioners met last night. We'll take a look at that right after this word from our sponsor of the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. City Commissioners met Tuesday. City Commissioners of Jesup, and they moved their meeting up to 5 p.m. to avoid the bad weather. City Manager Nick Ellis and DDA Director Kara Lopez updated the Commissioners on FEMA. Lopez says they have meetings once a week with FEMA, and they're still receiving funds from Tropical Storm Debbie. Latest Hurricane Helene. Lopez says FEMA says the city should receive anywhere from 75% to 100% reimbursement. The city has a lot of debris still to get rid of, and the discussion was last night to chip it away or burn it. Still seeking prices to chip it away. Most commissioners against the burning, so they asked their DDA director to seek more prices and report back to them. Also to check with the mill, see if they could do it there. Again, that a big part of the discussion last night. Under board appointments, the city has to appoint 4 people to the Historic Preservation Board, and they did that last night. So they had 4 volunteers. They were appointed last night. 4 city representatives on the Historic Preservation Board will be Courtney Tyre, Melba Murphy, Kelly O'Quinn, and Juanita Smith. City voted 5-0 to approve the new communication system that has been proposed and discussed at several meetings and a work session. The vote unanimous last night by a 5-0 vote. City's cost around $166,050, includes the new tower and equipment. Under public participation, Tyrone Johnson on hand asking the commissioners to look and see if they could use their TIA or LMIG money to be used for city sidewalks. Johnson told the commissioners he's conducted his own study in the city, found that there's a lot of areas in the city that need sidewalks or need to complete the sidewalks. Mayor Rufficock says they need to discuss the matter further and advise that they put this on the city agenda. Have their engineer Bill Schuman on hand to find out whether they can or cannot use those funds for sidewalks in the city. Christina Delago on hand with a report on Family Connection. She's the executive director. She informed the commissioners on the many services they provide and wanted to partner with the city in some of their programs. City looking into increasing the fees for commercial garbage pickup, which hasn't been increased in over 30 years in the city of Jesup. Environmental Services Director Patrick Martin on hand with the information and the proposal. The proposal is to increase the fee from $85 a month to $120 a month. Once again, they have not increased it in over 30 years. The mayor and commissioners expected to vote at their next meeting, but they state that they will give a 60-day notice to its customers about the increase. Fire Chief Josh Huffman on hand asking to repair their fire rescue truck. That was approved by unanimous vote. The cost $55,000, and the city will put its CD renewal into a Georgia One fund. They state there's no penalty for early withdrawal, and they've got a higher interest rate in the Georgia fund as they are currently getting from the bank, and that approved on unanimous vote. And let's look at your Tuesday City Council meeting from last night. We'll be back with a final news note after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final note in the news, jury selections underway in the Glenn County Courthouse as former District Attorney Jackie Johnson set to stand trial for allegedly violating her oath of office during an investigation into the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Jurors are being selected, many dismissed Monday, as some have stated in court that they believe it's a witch hunt against the former DA, while others have already determined that she's guilty without hearing any evidence in the case. More than 20 of the potential 500 jurors were called to the courthouse Tuesday, were brought in for individual questioning. Both the state and the defense dismissed several potential jurors based on answers they filled out on their questionnaire that was sent out to them. Some of the answers on the questionnaire defense attorney Brian Steele referred to in court as explosive. Johnson's accused in 2021 in a grand jury indictment of instructing county investigators at the scene via cell phone to not arrest either of the McMichaels. The indictment further accuses her of colluding to divert the case to George Barnhill, who is no longer the Waycross Circuit DA after she recused herself. She's being prosecuted by Attorney General Chris Carr's office, and the indictment also states she directed the case to Barnhill, knowing he had already expressed an opinion on the case, and that written opinion was that the shooting was self-defense. Jurors were asked Tuesday of their knowledge of the case, their opinions on it, and why they hold those opinions, and if they're capable of being impartial. One woman says she has a bias because it's human in nature to have an opinion. She says her opinion was formed by her friendships with DAs in North Carolina. Woman said Tuesday she believed Johnson interfered, and she was excused. Once again, they have over 500 potential jurors, so jury selection should take a while. Not certain how the weather will affect the process today, but day 2 of the jury selection set for today in Glenn County. Once the case begins, both sides have told Judge Turner that they expect the case to last as long as 2.5 weeks, all taking place at the Glenn County Courthouse. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Just got a call from the Sheriff's Department. They state they got a truck jackknifed on 84 out near the JC Landing, got traffic backed up. So, again, they ask you to avoid that area if at all possible. That'll do it for the latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan saying have a great day.